Very warm welcome. I'm Agnes Cserhati, and this is your 2026 year kickoff. So it's time to reflect, grow, and of course, repeat. Now, I do not believe in New Year resolutions, but I do believe in reflecting and growing with purpose. And this is exactly why we are here today. So, very warm welcome once again. It's a leadership post to reflect, reset, and choose how you step into 2026. Now, today is not about doing more. In fact, 2026 is not about doing more, but it's about choosing better. And what does it actually mean? It's really giving yourself the permission to slow down for the next hour at least. So if you can take a breath, perhaps a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You do not need to perform here today. But one thing you have to be, you need to be present. I would very much like you to be present. Now, leaders often rush forward without closing chapters. I'm also guilty at this. But unfinished reflection leaks into the future. So this is why this session today. Because we know that high performance doesn't come from pressure, but we does need a little bit of reminding from time to time. It comes, however, from clarity. So how you close 2025 will define how you lead in 2026. And it's not simply, oh, 1st of January, new year, let's just move forward. That is not the idea. And it's not how your brain works. So chat is optional today. Keep it to low, so minimum disruptions that everybody can focus. But reflection is required. And you will leave with clarity, direction, and at least one guiding sentence for 2026. So this hour is truly for you and not for output, but for insights, perhaps as well. So if you are watching this on a recording via YouTube or any other channel, maybe this is the time to pause, get yourself either a physical notebook or a digital notebook, something like Remarkable, for example, or anything else. So you can continue with this process today and you can join in with the exercises as well. So how are you entering 2026 right now? And really here, a live poll comes up in the session, but I didn't want to take this away from you. So just take a little bit of time to do a poll here. Is it clear and energized? Are you curious but uncertain? Is it overloaded and tired, or somewhere in between? So perhaps pause, take a little bit of time, and just write down how you entering 2026 today. And by the way, there's no right answer here. It's just honesty, and honesty starts with self-honesty. Now, reflection is not about regret, but it's about learning. So it's not about what I should have done last year and now I'm going to spend the next hour and so doing this. Absolutely not. Quite the opposite. It's with no judgment. It's not about rewriting history. I cannot go back. I cannot take you back, and you shouldn't be going backwards either. But it's just honest awareness that I think we all benefit from. So let me start by asking you the first question. What was the wisest decision you made in 2025? Now, it's not the easiest, not the safest, but the wisest. And wisdom often looks quiet in the moment. So don't look for loud and big and visible. But it's often powerful in hindsight. So I would like you to pause this clip here, take 2-3 minutes, not more, and have a sort of silent pause for reflection. Now, moving forward, when you have your answer already, I want you to look at it one more time and I want you to take like, what did this decision protect? But what did it enable? So just use the next 30 seconds, Pause if you need to. Put one word. I said here in the chat, in the live thing, but I would say one word down here on your sheet or whatever way you're taking notes. What did this decision protect? One word. What did it enable? Another word. Perhaps a good time to pause now. Now we've already looked at the wisest decision. But what was the greatest risk you took in 2025? The one that stretched you, perhaps even challenged your identity. But it definitely required courage over comfort. So growth rarely feels elegant while it's happening, by the way. So don't look for anything of that nature. Pause this clip here now and put your answer down. Give yourself 2-3 minutes, nothing more. Now, when you have your answer, I want you to reflect and pause here. And this is where leadership becomes conscious. So when we're talking about risk doesn't always pay off immediately. But always reveals something. So don't think that, oh, where are the benefits of it? But perhaps ask yourself, what does it reveal about me, about the situation, about something else, perhaps? And the last reflection question I'm going to ask today is, what was the biggest lesson you learned in 2025? Now, especially the one that only became clear after it hurt. I know. And I put it down at the bottom, say some lessons arrive wrapped in discomfort. Well, and they still can't. So pause this clip and continue your reflection on this. Now, coming back from your answer, I want you to think about this. Reflection without intention stays inside. And insight with intention becomes leadership. So what are we going to do with this? So now we move from looking back to actually looking forward, because it's fantastic that we made these excellent decisions on 2025. We reflected, but what are we taking forward to 2026? And this is about growing. And we know that high performance is as much about subtraction as ambition. So it's subtracting that complexity that I often talk about in my book, in some of my workshops as well. So it's really not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. And in order to do that, you need to know what matters. So little poll here, not about you yet, but what do you think? What do leaders most need to do less of in 2026? Is it perhaps overcommitting? Is it reacting instead of choosing? Is it carrying outdated expectations? Or perhaps being available to everything and everyone and everywhere? Now notice how often really clarity begins with no. So pause a little and just take a note of the answer. Now after that, I want you to take it further. Now it's relevant to you. It's subtraction is a leadership skill. So what will you do less of in 2026? Perhaps less noise, less pleasing, less rushing, less carrying what's no longer yours. Take 2 minutes, pause the clip, do this activity now. It's not enough, of course, to look at what we do less of, because energy follows intention. So what will you do more of in 2026? More focus, perhaps, more courage, more recovery, more meaningful work and relationships. Which one? Time to pause now if you're watching this as a recording. Put your answer down. Excellent. So this is where leadership becomes conscious. You have moved from 25 to 26 and we are still pausing. Why? Because we want to give it time, want to give it energy, want to give it that respect that it deserves. Because doing more of the right things often requires doing less of what is wrong or less of the wrong ones, as I said it so much more eloquently on this slide. Now, I want you to do two things, and this is what we will finish off with. I want you to commit with intent. If we don't commit, this just becomes a little workshop, a live event, something that you watched on YouTube, may even share with others, but with no impact. So I want you to take few minutes. It is not easy, but craft one sentence that will guide your decision in 2026. Because if everything gets busy, this sentence will bring you back. So think of this. Pause now and give yourself a few minutes for this. Take time. Fantastic. So if you have paused, you have your sentence, how do you make sure that it happens? Well, you make sure by anchoring. So what does anchoring mean? Is giving yourself some sort of a reminder when things get busy. How are you going to make sure? And so I want you to think of how you're going to anchor it. What will be your reminder of that one sentence? Where do you put it? Do you put it on a screen? Do you put it in your office? Do you put it on your kitchen board? I don't know, wherever. But anchor it to ensure that you are reminded in busy times. Now, the core message for today is the following. High performance is not about doing more. Very often people think that it's not. It's about doing what matters and on purpose. But it's a lot about reflecting, growing, and repeating this process so that you can bring things with you that is valuable. And this is simply the work of leadership if we're looking at that organization level. Now, if you are looking at how else could perhaps be engaged together and what's the path ahead, I will put the links also in the description, but I do run a lot of high performance mastermind groups, a different level. So if you're interested in knowing more about it, I give you a link, you join one of those very selective calls, and then we can have a conversation. I also run a lot of year kickoff team sessions, so feel free to contact the office. Strategic keynotes on high performance culture, high performance teams, and high performance leadership in general, and what does it actually mean. So do continue this journey, and I hope to see you in one of these other settings as well. Connecting with me, I'm on LinkedIn. I also put that in the description. Email, Insta, X, so you will find me. All is left to say thank you for choosing to post, whether you were live or recorded. Thank you for choosing to lead consciously, and see you in 2026 with purpose.